Thank you so much, brethren. I really want to share something very important with you today that's really going to bless your heart. I want to speak to you about God's power. And there is an interesting part that I really want you to get to understand. As much as we find ourselves, every moment you wake up, you don't find yourself in another place other than where God, in the first place, chose to put you. You always find you in that place. You always find yourself in that place on earth. So every moment you come to the knowledge that you are still here on earth and still living the life sanctioned by Him, still taking the breath that He wants you to take, it is of great importance now that you should begin to understand what is in His mind. Now, I want you to get something. There is actually a very important thing that you need to get to understand concerning God's power. We as Christians have not yet come, many of us have not yet come to the knowledge of how the power of God gets to be displayed by God into our own lives. This is what has caused this fact that we cannot to this very day enjoy of the great things that have been set before us. It is because there is a greater knowledge that we need to attain about His power and how He gets to pour His power. Listen to me. If anything gets to move the heart of God to do what He does, if anything gets to move the heart of God to do something, it takes a great influence that goes as deep as understanding the mind of God and see what is pleasant before Him. So, in this very way, if you really want to get to understand how God gets to pour His power and why He should pour His power, you really need to get to the deep understanding of what is in His thoughts. So one very important thing that you need to get to understand is God gets to expose His power due to the understanding that He attains from our situations about how inferior our ability is to contain a problem. And when that time comes, the power that saves us from our previous challenges is what becomes a guide that guides us into greater achievements. It guides us into greater achievements in God. And now what you need to get to understand is this. Every challenge that you face is a storage of God's power. This is what keeps you going on to a greater achievement of life. Listen to this now. It may take you a little while to get to understand that the moment that you thought that you have failed was the right moment that God intervened into your situation and was trying to do something to make you feel strengthened